A little over 4 months ago, on April 20, 2016, 13-year-old Julio Rene Alvarado was killed in the Cebada area of the Chicabul Reserve in the Cayo district. It is an unfortunate incident that created heightened tensions between the Belize and Guatemalan military, as well as the foreign affairs officials from both sides. In response to that tension, coupled with Guatemala's insistence that someone from Belize be penalized for the incident, an independent investigation was launched that included a team of experts from Mexico and the United States. That report has been finalized and Belize has been exculpated from any blame as it relates to the incident. The 22-page document will be officially handed over to the Minister of Foreign Affairs tomorrow, and the media was informed today that officials will not be making any statements until that presentation concludes. We did manage to get a copy of the report, and while it is quite lengthy, we will share with you the highlights of the findings. In the introduction, it was stated, quote, "As part of our review, we have read a number of reports, statements, interviews, and documents, as well as either meeting with and or interviewing a number of individuals. Additionally, we visited the scene of the incident at different times, accompanied by the father and another villager and local members of the OAS team who provided logistical support only, and in the case of Dr. Hamby, a translator. We both entered the scene from near the village of San Jose Las Flores de Chicabal, which is on the Guatemala side of the adjacency zone." End of quote. In its methodology, the investigating team focused on 4 areas, namely recovering of data, exploring the site, analysis of the information, and conclusions. In the process of the investigation, the minor's father was interviewed, and the outcome of that was posted in the section named Analysis Information. According to the interview, Mr. Carlos Alfredo Alvarado Ramirez, the child's father, who was born in the community of San Jose Las Flores de Guatemala, declared that at 7 a.m. on the morning of April 20th, 2016, he had left his home with his children Julio Rene Alvarado Ruano, whom he refers to as being 13 years old. The birth certificate indicates 14 years old and about to turn 15, and Carlos Alberto Alvarado Ruano, 12 years old. They walked to the job site that is 40 minutes from their home to plant pumpkin and bean seeds. After they had finished work while returning to their home over the hill and before they arrived at the cornfield, 3 men appeared and said to them, "Don't move," and promptly began to shoot them. In the version by the soldiers and FCD members, 3 persons with an intermittent flashlight started to cross into the cornfield and shot at them when Benjamin Cal said to them, "Stop." After the unknown people began to shoot at them, they returned fire. The document noted that in its conclusion, quote, "The firearms that caused the death of the child were a .22 caliber rifle and a 12-gauge shotgun. The BDF M4 carbine did not produce any of the wounds on the deceased or wounded. The elements that we used to analyze this information were the autopsy reports, documents, interviews, and assorted photographs, laboratory examination results from the National Forensic Science Service, the wounds, and the detention reports of the deceased minor. Additionally, we conducted our own separate and independent visits to the site of the event." End of quote. The report did note that Mr. Alvarado is a farmer, and with his sons they planted pumpkin and bean seeds and hunted for a living. He worked as a farmer for more than 20 years and used Belizean land to plant crops. The deceased Julio Rene Alvarado Ruano had been previously detained on March 2, 2016 by BDF FCD personnel approximately 100 meters inside the adjacency zone administered by Belize. He was carrying in his crocus bag 2 gibnuts that had been shot. He and 2 other minors were hunting with a rifle, according to the detention report of the FCD about this incident. We will have more on the findings in this investigation in tomorrow's newscast. In the